Want to know the latest in soccer? Then listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Soccer Podcast. From MLS, the World Cup, and the Premier League, we've got you covered. The latest updates, the hottest matches, and news on the league's top players. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Soccer Podcast.
David Beckham scores the goal to take England all the way to the World Cup finals.
Listen now.
All right, and welcome to the GSMC Soccer Podcast. This episode is brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, and as always, I am your host, Jesse Tapia. All right, so we had a couple of games going on today. We had Belgium, Brazil, Uruguay, France. All right. We're going to be talking about those today. Not sure if I want to put them each into their own segment, or I want to do them all in one segment. But nonetheless, we'll figure it out. See what we got on time for this first segment when we're starting out with Belgium and Brazil, because that is obviously the game we need to lead off with. Okay. So if we don't get to France, Uruguay, we'll push that over to the second segment. All right. Third segment, depending on, we will be talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. All right. Is he going to Juventus? Someone needs to tell me whether or not he is. Because it looks like he most likely is, and he could even be announced tomorrow. All right, that's a possibility. He could be announced as a Juve player tomorrow. And, I mean, we'll save my thoughts for that when we talk about it. Okay, so there's that. And then we got England, Sweden tomorrow, Croatia, Russia tomorrow also. We'll be talking about that later on in the show. And I think we're going to try and talk about some teams just the disappointing teams that have gone out of the World Cup so far. All right, we'll give my thoughts on the World Cup as a whole, actually, so later on the show. So that's how today's show is going to go. Okay, so like I said, we had Belgium, Brazil. All right. Probably, at least coming into it, everyone thought was going to be the game of the day. And it was. It didn't really disappoint. I mean, the only team that really did, I guess, was Brazil. But nonetheless, I mean, a big story of this tournament so far has been Neymar's flopping. Okay, Neymar is that soccer player that every casual fan or non-fan has when they think, oh yeah, soccer isn't that the sport where everyone flops. They got guys like Neymar in mind. Okay. And as far as what I think about it is, it hurts the game a bit, Neymar flopping. Okay, because there are casual fans coming in, and there are people who don't necessarily give the game a chance. But more so like, oh, Brazil, Belgium, I hear that those are two really good teams, so it should be a really good game. Let's see what it's all about. Then you got Neymar hitting the ground every other tackle. I mean, you think anyone's going to want to watch that? We watch it because we know, oh, that's just Neymar. Okay, that's just Neymar laying on the ground for 5+ minutes. All right, we know that's just how he is. So we watch, we get past it, even no matter how annoying or how frustrating it is to see. Okay, but there's a point where it is a problem, and I think it was a problem in today's match. Not more so his flopping, but there were a couple of questionable decisions. Was it a penalty? Was it not? Okay, and both times they were called non-penalties. All right, but part of me thinks, okay, and this is just like a little thought. It's not set in stone type of thing or anything like that. But let's say that Neymar doesn't have this history of flopping. Okay. Let's say that he doesn't go down all the time, and he's a guy who, yeah, he'll get hit or whatever, but he'll get right back up, or he just won't go down like you'd hope no one else would. Let's say he's that type of player. Okay? And again, stay with me here. Like I said, they reviewed for those 2 penalties. If Neymar isn't known as a flopper, do you think maybe he could have got a decision on one of those 2 penalties? Where I guess you could say he did flop. But nonetheless, I guess the second one, where I think it was Meunier had Neymar on the post. Meunier kind of outstretched his hands and Neymar goes down. Maybe on a play like that. Let's say that Neymar's not a flopper. You think maybe the ref is more inclined to give him a penalty? Because I think the ref in today's match, like, he knows what kind of player Neymar is. He knows that Neymar is going to try and get the ref to call a bunch of fouls on the opposing team by flopping and rolling around on the ground for long periods of time. And I think the ref was on top of that. Okay? And I think that's one of the reasons why we didn't get those penalty decisions. Alright? So like I said, I mean, there's obviously, no matter what way you spin it, there are pros to Neymar flopping. Pros are they're going to get fouls called a lot on the opposing team. The cons, there's going to be some refs who are smart and know what he's trying to do. You're not going to be getting those calls. And let's say that Neymar was actually fouled in the box, but they don't call it. Can you blame a ref for assuming? Well, now we got VAR, but let's say there's no VAR. Can you blame a ref for not calling a penalty against the opposing team with Neymar going down? I mean, who's to say that he wasn't faking it and flopped? All right. That's the kind of problem he creates with his flopping. But nonetheless, there was still a game to be played today, and it was played, mind you. Okay, 13th minute, first goal comes in. Own goal from Fernandinho. I believe there's been 11 own goals in the tournament so far. All right. So own goal Fernandinho. It's 1-0 Belgium. Belgium's looking good too. Brazil seemingly start off slow in this one. Then we get the 31st minute. Lukaku making a decent run. A great run, I should say. Passes it off to Kevin De Bruyne. And De Bruyne hits an absolute rocket into the bottom left corner of the net. And makes it 2-0. Okay. After that, you're thinking, yeah, Brazil's done. There's no way they're coming back. Belgium have played way too good so far in this tournament and way too good today to give us a 2-0 lead. Okay. So the first half ends with Belgium being up 2-0 on Brazil. All right. Firmino comes in to start the half. Douglas Costa ends up coming in for Gabriel Jesus in the 58th minute. Renato Augusto comes in for Paulinho in the 73rd minute. All right. 76th minute gets here. Boom. Renato Augusto, 3 minutes after coming in, gets his goal. All right. This is from Felipe Coutinho. 2-1 Belgium. Game on. Brazil's got about 20 or so minutes to go and find themselves a game-tying goal. Okay. Renato Augusto had another chance to tie it up, wasn't able to, and then you got Neymar, all right, who lets off a shot late in the game. Looks like it's going in from the top of the box, and Courtois makes the perfect save. Okay, it was literally going in. I mean, off his foot in the air, you thought, yeah, this is a goal right here. And Courtois somehow, some way, still gets to it, kind of like Jordan Pickford's save on Matheus Uribe the other day when they played. All right. That was what, back on Tuesday? We haven't even talked about that. Right? That was on Tuesday, right? I think it was. But nonetheless, yeah, save is made. Brazil still down 2-1. Still got a couple of chances to score. Can't end up getting it done. And Brazil end up losing. Okay. And you're thinking, well, I'm thinking, Brazil deserved to go out. Honestly, they did. All right. You're going to tell me that as poorly as they played today, they deserve to go through? I mean, sure. Okay, sure. Brazil did play well in that second half and probably did deserve to tie it up. But nonetheless, it doesn't work that way. You don't draw because you deserve to. Okay, and even then, so I'm saying that Brazil probably deserved to get a tie and go into extra time. I'm not even saying they deserve to win the match. First half, Brazil looked out of sorts. Brazil looked like, you kind of like, if you've ever played sports, you always have those couple of games where you just don't got it. You're not feeling well, not necessarily sick, but you're just not feeling like you can really give your all in this game, or you're just not going to have a good game. Every athlete's had that type of game. All right, anyone who says they haven't is lying to you. That kind of looked like Brazil today. First half, I think personally they looked kind of sluggish. Okay, of course they were getting their shots up and all, but nonetheless, I mean, was it really causing any trouble? I don't think so. All right. I'm not going to go and say that it was enough, because it wasn't. All right. So I have no problem with the result here. I think Belgium were the deserved winners. And they have been. Belgium, for me, have now passed Croatia as far as being the best team in the tournament so far. Okay. Belgium pretty much did everything they needed to in the group. You beat Japan in a thriller. And then you handle Brazil. Okay? I mean, what more could you ask for there? Belgium have by far been playing the best football out of everyone. Not by far, but you get what I'm saying, okay? They've been really good. And finally, this Belgium generation right here, this Belgian golden generation, is finally delivering on expectations. I said before the tournament that if they made these semis, then I'd say it'd be a successful tournament for them. I'd say, yeah, it's been a successful tournament. Okay, they've made the semis. Great. All right, I think anything else is a plus. And plus, it's tough. I mean, you got to play France in these semis to get to the final. That's not necessarily going to be the easiest game to play, considering the fact that France has looked great since their group stage ended. All right, we'll be talking about France and Uruguay in the next segment, so let's just roll on over to that. All right, so we're going to pause it here. Like I said, stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
Are you looking to get your college football fix? Looking to get the latest news on your favorite school's team? The GSMC College Football Podcast is your ticket to all things college football. Join us as we talk college football from the national championship, the college rivalries, the bowl game, to the Heisman Trophy. To which conference is the best? We've got you covered for the Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, the Pac-12, ACC, and everything in between. Download the GSMC College Football Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
All right, I got a nice little stat for you guys, courtesy of Fox Sports. All right. This is the first time in World Cup history, okay, World Cup history. You know what World Cup history is? All right. From 1930 on, that Germany, Brazil, and Argentina, neither of them are in the semis. Okay. Are you kidding me? Really? I mean, do we think that this is this a good stat or is this a bad stat? Meaning, just as far as, I mean, really? Those three teams have dominated that much? And Argentina kind of might be that throw-in team. It might be more so just Germany and Brazil are constantly in the semis, and there was just one year where they weren't, and Argentina just so happened to be. That might just be where it is right there. Okay? But nonetheless, I'm trying to figure out, I mean, that's ridiculous that this is the first time ever that those three teams have not, neither of those three teams have been in the semifinal. All right? But nonetheless, I guess that's the way it is. All right. Like I said, that's not a great stat, I don't think. I mean, these other teams need to start stepping up. Of course, it's difficult because you got to develop the players, but nonetheless, I mean, I don't know, man. That's one of the more wild stats I've seen all year, honestly. I didn't even know that. Of course, you know that they're always dominant, but I mean, we've never had an England, France, Italy, Uruguay type of two semifinal matches. We've never had anything like that. We've always had Germany, Brazil, or Argentina in one. I mean, come on now. All right. So that's just the stat I wanted to pass along here. Again, courtesy of Fox Sports. All right. But nonetheless, Brazil and Belgium wasn't the only game that we had going on today. We also had Uruguay, France. Okay. And if you remember, hopefully you don't, but I picked Uruguay to win the entire tournament. Now I got to redo all that, and we'll probably do that on Monday since we'll know who's in the semis and who's not. All right. But nonetheless, okay, I picked Uruguay to win the tournament, mainly because their center defenders, Jose Maria Jimenez and Diego Godin. And then up top, you had Edson Cavani and Luis Suarez. Okay? I thought, you know what, this is good enough to get them through to the final and to win it. Because, I mean, they've looked unstoppable so far in the tournament. Okay? Against France, I figured it was going to be difficult, but I still picked Uruguay because I still had faith. Even knowing that Cavani wasn't going to play. I mean, I didn't know, but I figured, yeah, it's most likely that he's not going to be playing. So I still figured Uruguay were going to come out with the win. I figured it was going to be a match where France is on the attack the entire time. Okay, I mean, I assumed that Uruguay was probably going to give up a goal, but I also assumed that Suarez was going to get the job done. Okay. Yes, Cavani has been the better striker out of the two, but, I mean, it's Luis Suarez. We all know what he can do, right? Right. Okay, so I figured it was going to be like that, and the match was kind of that way. All right, you had France scoring early on in the game. Sure, great, whatever. All right, France ends up scoring in the 40th minute off of a Rafael Varane header. Okay, makes it 1-0. Halftime, first half ends 1-0. Okay, second half comes, and we get to the 61st minute. Griezmann takes a shot. It wasn't necessarily a rocket or anything like that. That seemed too difficult for a professional keeper to handle. But of course, these professionals make mistakes. Okay, they're not perfect. And Fernando Muslera, keeper for Uruguay, did make a mistake. Wasn't able to catch it, wasn't able to hit it out, ends up trying to... I'm not sure if he was just confused as to what he wanted to do, but nonetheless, it hits off his hands, ends up going back into the net, which made it 2-0. Alright, after that, I mean, you pretty much figured the game was over, as it was. Okay, Luis Suarez wasn't able to get on the score sheet and was extremely disappointing today. I say so myself. I don't even think he took a shot today. Alright. That's how bad he was. As far as his passes, only completed 63% of them. Alright, and just wasn't good enough today. Wasn't good enough this entire tournament. Cool, you scored against Saudi Arabia and Russia. What'd you do against Portugal? Cavani scored 2 goals, which got your team through. What'd you do against France, at least to keep the team in the game? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, I think this season he was the 3rd leading scorer in La Liga. But nonetheless, he still wasn't good enough then either. He started off real sluggish this year in the Liga. Okay. And like I said, this has just been a real down year for Suarez, I feel. Alright, looking at it, yeah, he finished 3rd. He finished behind Ronaldo and Messi as far as goals in La Liga. But like I said, I mean, the guy wasn't necessarily the best player for Barcelona this season. Okay, went through a bit of a cold streak and eventually picked it up, but nonetheless, you get what I'm saying. Alright, so now Uruguay's out. I am not happy about it. They were my pick to win the tournament from the round of 16 on. But nonetheless, what can you do? Alright, so now they're out. And as for France, they're about as good as Belgium right now. Okay? I'd say that I'm not going to make my pick yet. I want to see how I feel out once Monday gets here to make my picks going forward for both semifinal matchups. But nonetheless, as good as England and Croatia have looked, which we'll be talking about later on in the show, Belgium and France are just on a whole nother level right now, wouldn't you say? France in the group stage were about as bad as you could be. Hot garbage. Okay? Round of 16 on, domination. Sure, they only beat Argentina by a goal. But in reality, Were Argentina ever in that game once France ended up getting the game-tying goal in the second half when it was 2-2? I mean, France ended up jumping out to a 4-2 lead. Doesn't really sound like much of a match there, okay? We could all tell that France were the better team in that game against Argentina. And then against Uruguay, it's just a matter of they knew it was coming, and they executed and did well, okay? Uruguay had counterattacking opportunities, but France took them away. All right? Luis Suarez was a non-factor in this game. Man, France were able to come away with 2 goals, which was good enough to get them the win. All right? So now it's just a matter of, we got France and Belgium next. Probably 2 of the most complete teams in the tournament. Okay? I mean, looking at the lineups today, what did France put out? All right, no Matuidi due to yellow card accumulation. And Giroud, basically the same thing, except they put in Tolisso for Matuidi. All right, basically a 4-2-3-1 once again. Same defenders as their last match, same keeper. Midfield, Pogba, Kanté, and the 3 playing behind the striker, Mbappe, Griezmann, Tolisso, and then Giroud. Okay. Players off the bench that got time was Nzani, Dembele, and Fekir. All right. As for Belgium, their lineup against Brazil, they played today a 4-3-3. They played Vertonghen, Company, Alderweireld, Meunier in the back 4. Courtois, obviously the keeper. Chadli did well enough in their past match to get a start. Okay. Played in the center 3 with Chadli, Witsel, and Fellaini. And then we had Lukaku, De Bruyne, and Hazard up top as the front 3. All right. No Dembele in this one. No Carrasco. No Mertens. None of that. All right. They ended up playing Vermaelen and Tielemans against Brazil off the bench. Now, that shows the kind of quality that Belgium have right there. Okay, you don't have to play those guys off your bench, and you still win, and do it well. I mean, what more could you ask for there? I'm curious to see what they line up against France. But nonetheless, I mean, yeah, I'd say right now, these are probably the 2 most complete teams in the tournament. Probably the 2 teams that are the most in form right now. All right, so it's going to be real interesting. Something's got to give here. This could be one where I could easily see it going to extra time. All right. But nonetheless, right now you got De Bruyne, who is playing like the player of the tournament. Okay, he's extremely in the running for that. I'd say, I don't know, is there anyone in the running for player of the tournament with France? Do they do player of the tournament for World Cup? I can't remember if they exactly do, but nonetheless, I mean, France's whole team is just playing well. There's been no single player that has really taken over. All right, it's just been a team effort all around. So now we got to wait till next Tuesday, okay, for this match. Then let's see. Is it going to be both matches on that day? It will be. Why do we have them? Oh, okay, never mind. I was looking at the date wrong. I thought we had them at the same time, the same day at the same time. So we got France-Belgium at 11 on Tuesday. We got the winner of England-Sweden, Russia-Croatia on the 11th, which is a Wednesday at 11 next week. All right, and then we got the final on a Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning. All right. So it's going to be real interesting to see how it all ends up. Like I said, I'm not going to make any picks for those matches yet. I'm going to wait till Monday to make my picks going forward. So we're actually going to wrap it up here. All right, we got a certain Cristiano Ronaldo could be on the move, so we'll be talking about that in the next segment. So stay tuned, and I will be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Soccer Podcast. So far today, we've talked Belgium, Brazil, France, and Uruguay. We've talked about today's matches so far. All right, Belgium beating Brazil 2-1, France beating Uruguay 2-0. I mean, both teams deserve to go through. Brazil, it is what it is, I guess. Okay. Brazil weren't the better team today. They did not deserve to go through today. So, they ended up making it out and of the World Cup in the quarterfinal. They end up getting knocked out there. And I mean, Brazil not able to avenge that 7-1 loss to Germany in 2014. Looking at their team, they're still pretty young. The defenders, all of them are pretty old, so I'm assuming they're going to have like a whole new backline. Maybe Marquinhos ends up coming in to be a starter for them next World Cup. But nonetheless, Marcelo's old, Thiago Silva's old. I mean, let me go through it. All right. As far as the age of those defenders. So, Marcelo's 30. He'll be 34 by the time the next World Cup comes around. He could even be 35. He'll be 30. Actually, that's I don't know. He might be 35 or whatever, considering that World Cup might be in the winter, isn't it, since the Qatar? 2022 World Cup's going to be a disaster. I'll just tell you that much. Marquinhos is still 24. Danilo is 26, but Danilo hasn't necessarily been great so far wherever he's gone. All right. Thiago Silva's 33. He's done. João Miranda's 33. He's done. Felipe Luis is 32. He's done. Wagner's 29. He's done. Pedro Guerrero's 32. He's done. All right. I don't see any Rafa Marquez's on this team. And, I mean, Brazil's never really needed to play with a 39-year-old, so that's also a reason why, too. But, nonetheless, I mean, that entire defense, besides Danilo and Marquinhos, is old and done. All right? And there's no guarantee that Danilo's even going to be on the next squad. He'll be 30, and chances are, I mean, Danilo doesn't necessarily look great, so why would they bring him up? All right? And, I mean, as far as the midfield, let's see. Coutinho's 26, so he's got one more World Cup. Same with Casemiro. Costa's going to be 31 by the time the next World Cup comes around, so he could still find himself on the squad, but he's got to be playing at a high level still. Paulinho is 29, so he's done, I feel. He could be back. Fred's 25. He'll be starting in the next World Cup. Fernandinho's 33, so he's done. Tyson's 30. And Renato Augusto are 30, so they'll probably be done too. All right. Willian probably done. Maybe he might be back. He'll be 33 by the next World Cup. Neymar, Firmino, and Jesus all still pretty young, so they'll be back. Neymar going to be 30. Firmino will be 30. Jesus will be 25, all right? And one thing about this World Cup, too, is that Firmino should have started a long time ago over Gabriel Jesus. I thought that Firmino should have started from the beginning. Brazil thought differently. All right, and Gabriel Jesus was not great. Okay, not great at all. I don't even think he pulled up a goal in this tournament. He didn't. Firmino got one more goal than him. All right, and that was in the round of 16 matchup. All right, as good as Gabriel Jesus has been, honestly thought Firmino was the guy. Okay, so a lot of mistakes from Brazil here, and they are now out. But nonetheless, okay, we got Cristiano Ronaldo. Remember after the Champions League final, okay, there was talk about whether or not he'd be back with them, Madrid, and it seemed like he was going to be gone. Now it seems more so than ever he's going to be gone by tomorrow. All right. I mean, the Ronaldo to Juventus rumors have absolutely rocketed out here. Okay, and I think that it's going to happen. I think Ronaldo is going to be playing for Juventus this next season, which is ridiculous. Okay? I mean, I always thought that he'd be going back to a team like Manchester United, but Juventus, it's going to be a nice little experiment. Okay? Fiat owners, I'm reading an article right now, an ESPN one by Dermot Corrigan, talking about how Fiat workers are upset that Juventus is going to be bringing in Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay? And only in the football world, soccer world, will you see articles like this. Okay? Where a top player going to a team is going to upset a car company. All right? But Juventus' owner also owns Fiat, and I guess Fiat is cash strapped or whatever. All right? But nonetheless, I mean, well, Juventus is a sponsor. All right, Fiat's a Juventus sponsor. All right, but nonetheless, I mean, like I said, only here could you have Fiat being mad at Juventus for bringing in Ronaldo. All right, but nonetheless, I mean, Ronaldo to Juventus, Higuain seems to be going to Chelsea. They're going to put Ronaldo up top, have Dybala play behind him. I mean, that doesn't even seem fair right there. Okay. Imagine a squad where you got Dybala playing behind Ronaldo. Imagine if you had a team with Messi and Dybala on, like, playing together. If only that was possible, huh? I wonder if some coach could make that happen, or maybe it could have happened. Wouldn't it be crazy if Dybala and Messi both played for Argentina and their head coach Sampaoli decided, you know what, I'm not going to play these two at the same time because they play the same position and neither have played on the right wing? I mean, what a concept, right? Putting Messi on the right wing or Dybala and having either play behind the striker. Who knows, maybe if that was possible, Argentina would have went farther in the World Cup. But nonetheless, they have no clue what they're doing up there. Argentina, by far, one of the worst run national team organizations ever. It's garbage. All right, but nonetheless, talking about Ronaldo, I mean, does this make the Serie A any more interesting to watch for me? No. I will not be watching any Juventus games unless it's a Champions League game. Okay, I'm still more inclined to watch a team like Real Madrid without Ronaldo than Juventus team with Ronaldo. I don't know what it is. Maybe if it's just Serie A doesn't do it for me. All right. But nonetheless, yeah. I mean, Juventus have been dominating that league for the last few years. What's the difference here? Okay, they get to dominate with Ronaldo. I'll pass. When they're playing Champions League against top teams, I will definitely watch. All right. But nonetheless, yeah. I'm still way more intrigued by a team like Real Madrid without him than a Juventus with him. Okay? And I mean, like I said, Juventus have dominated. They won it last year. They won it in 2016-2017 season. They won it in the 2015-2016 season. They won it in the 2014-2015 season. They won it in the 2013-2014 season. They won it in the 2012-2013 season. They won it in 2011-2012. Last time they didn't win it was the 2010-2011 season, where they finished 7th. Since then, they've won it every single year. 1, 2, 3. Let me see. Let's see. It's how many years in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in a row they've won the Serie A. Okay? And you're telling me adding Ronaldo there is going to make the viewership go up? No. I mean, now they have a chance to actually win the Champions League, and poor Gigi Buffon ends up officially signing with PSG when Juventus is about to announce Ronaldo. All right. Buffon's never won a Champions League. Chances are, now that Ronaldo's going to be going to Juventus, at least it seems that way, Neymar's going to be coming to Madrid. Okay. I think the fee for Ronaldo's going to be 100 euros or 80. You could put that with all the money Madrid's got and get Neymar easily. Okay. So it's going to be real interesting to see. I mean, I never would have pictured him going to the Serie A. I always thought maybe he's going back to the EPL, or maybe he'd go play for a PSG type team, or just stay in Madrid altogether. All right, but nonetheless, it looks like he's officially leaving, and it's going to be weird. Okay? I mean, I hope Madrid end up getting Neymar now, because that's going to be perfect for El Clasico. It's not longer going to be Messi versus Ronaldo. It's going to be Barcelona versus Neymar. Okay? And anyone who's saying they don't want that is crazy. And I can't stand the fans who say, oh, Neymar shouldn't go to Madrid because it's disrespectful. No one cares. Okay? It's a business. It's about doing what's best for yourself. And that's one thing that football has had a hard time grasping. Okay? They try to treat it as if it's still a game. No, it's a business. Alright? Money, there's more money into it. You want to say it's ruining the game? I mean, game's doing pretty fine for itself right now. You telling me you don't want to see Neymar versus Barcelona? El Clasico? Really? You don't want to see that? The only ones who don't want to see it are Barcelona fans. Get over it. He's gone. Okay? You still got Messi. So we'll see. Like I said, Ronaldo going to Juve I don't think really brings more interest to the Serie A. It's basically the League One. Okay? It's League One with more historic teams, if we're being real here. Milan, they were at one point a giant. Now they're not great in Serie A. You'll finish top 6. Who cares? Inter, they're trying to make their comeback. All right, and it's been Roma and Napoli as far as the teams who compete with Juventus for as long as they can until Juventus actually wins the whole thing. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, I'm only really focusing on Juve for Champions League with Ronaldo. I don't need to see them win another Serie A title or another Italian Coppa Italia. All right. I really could do without that. So, we'll see how it ends up going down. Like I said, Ronaldo going to Juventus is surprising, but nonetheless, it's going to be exciting because I think this makes way for Neymar to Madrid. So, hopefully that ends up happening soon. But nonetheless, we're going to wrap it up here. Next up, we're going to be talking about anything else going on in the world of football/soccer, whatever you want to call it. So stay tuned, and I will be right back.
This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Soccer Podcast. So far today, we've talked about Friday. Today's Friday. Friday's matches in the World Cup. Brazil, Belgium. Belgium won that one 2-1, and then Uruguay, France. France won that one 2-0. All right. So we got them playing each other in the semis. Now we got to wait for tomorrow. We got Sweden, England, Croatia, Russia for tomorrow's quarterfinal matchups. Okay. And how do I say? I'm not as excited for those matches tomorrow than I was for today. I'll just put it simply, okay? England, Sweden doesn't really scream at me masterclass, and neither does Croatia, Russia. But that's what we get, I guess. You got one side of the bracket where it's insanely stacked with great team after great team, and you got one side of the bracket where it's stacked with team after team. Okay? I'd say that right now England and Croatia are the best two teams on that side of the bracket, and I'd say that, France and Belgium are the two best teams on the other side of the bracket. Okay, so I'd say it's all worked out. For Belgium, whole point was to lose that third group stage match so you didn't have to play on this side, but nonetheless, what better way to, challenge yourself than to go through the gauntlet? Okay? I really love the way Belgium have been playing. For me, it's been Croatia most of this tournament as far as them being the best team, but nonetheless, Belgium have come and shown that, we got it too. Okay? So there's that. Like I said, tomorrow we got England, Sweden. Do I expect any surprises, meaning a Sweden win or a Russia win? I think England is going to handle business tomorrow against Sweden. Okay, I'm still kind of scared of England, meaning they could always just disappoint me and seemingly just bottle it like how they always do. Okay? But I do expect them to come away with the win. I think Harry Kane and that team has played way too well to not make it past. And as for Croatia and Russia, somehow, some way, Russia have made it this far. Okay? There's no reason as to why Croatia should lose this game, no matter how well Russia have been playing. I could care less, too, that Russia beat Spain, by the way. I'm completely over Spain. Don't ever tell me about Spain. Don't ever tell me how good they are. Don't ever tell me how much of a chance they got. As long as they keep passing the ball side to side, I call it tiki-taka, whatever you want. It's terrible. Okay? Oh, it's great football. I love it. No. Because when Iceland does it or anyone else, you hate it because it's boring. Spain does it. Oh, it's great. Spain stink. Okay? They do. They got talent, but go ahead, pass the ball side to side and see how many times that gets you far in the World Cup. Because sure enough, it hasn't. Their best finishes at the World Cup, 2010, where they won it. And anything other than that, it was like a 4th place finish back in like the 30s or something like that, where no one even cares. Okay, since then, they haven't even gotten to the semifinals. Okay, other than that, 2010, they've never made it to the semis. Well, 2010, in that odd year, wherever, they made it to the 4th place. They made 4th place. Okay. Spain's always been a round of 16 group stage type of team. All right. But someone definitely does. Like, they need a new coach. Like, I don't know. It's never going to happen because they're so infatuated with tradition and all that when it's just complete garbage. Okay. But nonetheless, that's just my opinion on it. All right. But nonetheless, like I said, getting back to Croatia and Russia. Russia have played well. Zuba's played well. All right. Sharachev has been their best player. Golev's done well. Looks like he might make a Chelsea move too. All right. But nonetheless, I mean, Rakitic, Perisic, Modric, Mandzukic. I mean, I don't see Russia winning this match. Okay? I just simply don't. So I think it's going to end up being a semifinal of Belgium, France, and then England, Croatia. It's basically the European tournament right here. It's basically the Euros. All right, South American teams, extremely disappointing. I'd say that Argentina were the most disappointing team from South America. People say, oh, what about Peru? They didn't even make it out of the group. Did anyone really expect Peru to make it out of the group? I picked them to make it out. I mean, they beat Denmark in that match. They probably do end up making it out. But nonetheless, I mean, Peru, no one expected much from them. Okay, Argentina, everyone was expecting them to go to the final and win it for Messi. They were hot garbage every single game. They didn't deserve to make it out of the group at all. All right, I'm still pretty upset at the fact that Nigeria is the one who didn't end up making it out. Okay? We were definitely cheated out of Nigeria or Senegal making it out of either group. Okay, because I guarantee you, if Senegal makes it out, they're probably playing in the quarterfinal. Nigeria, maybe just a round of 16 appearance for them. But Senegal, definitely I could see making it to the quarterfinal. Let's see, they would have finished in second. They would have been playing Belgium. Okay, never mind. They probably would have lost to Belgium. Actually, I don't know. All right. Actually, would they? I'm not so sure that... Let's see. Let's say that they draw with Colombia. Okay, if they were to draw with Colombia, then... Ooh, Colombia actually... I don't think Colombia makes it out the group. Actually, they might have. So, Senegal would have won the group if they drew. They would have played England in that first match. I would have took Senegal. I'll tell you that much. That would have been the ultimate trap game for England. But nonetheless, Senegal, Nigeria did make it out. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, watch out for Nigeria in 2022. Right now, they're the youngest World Cup team. Hung around with Argentina. Probably should have made it out the group. I really expect them to do something big in 2022. Maybe make it to the quarters. Who knows? Maybe they get to the semis. Okay, that is very much a possibility. But nonetheless, now we're still stuck on this team, this World Cup. All right, and I'd say right now this is the best World Cup of all time. All right. I mean, only 1-0-0 match. Every game has had goals in it, plenty of goals. Okay. So like I said, I mean, one of the most exciting World Cups ever. I mean, how do you say? France and Denmark, the only bad game so far. All right. So, I mean, that's how the World Cup's going so far. I mean, what else is going on in the world of football? Okay. Like I said, Buffon going to be moving to PSG. Officially made that official. I mean, if Ronaldo ends up going to Juventus, he's got to be kicking himself, I bet. Okay? And I mean, if you're Juventus, you got to tell Buffon, hey, we're thinking of getting Ronaldo, so you might want to stick around. Maybe this whole Champions League thing will work out. All right? Well, they never said anything. Let's see. German Football Association General Manager Oliver Bierhoff admits it might have been a mistake to take Mesut Ozil to the World Cup. No, it was a mistake leaving Leroy Sané at home. Okay, and people saying, oh yeah, you could have brought Sane and left Ozil. No, you could have left anyone else and brought Sane on. Okay? I mean, don't give me all this about now you want to say that Ozil shouldn't have made the group. Okay? Or shouldn't have made the team. Because he should have. You don't want to bring someone, don't bring Mario Gomez. Okay? Don't bring Gundogan, who you barely played. Don't bring Khedira. Okay? Or Hector or Rudy. Bring Sane instead. But don't give me this whole, yeah, we probably should have left Ozil at home, because that's wrong to do. Alright? But, nonetheless, I mean, it's too little too late for Germany. It doesn't even matter at this point. But I'd say that with this coming out, Ozil probably doesn't have much of a future with the German national team going forward. Okay. So we're going to wrap it up here today. Like I said, we got 2 games going on tomorrow. Make sure you check those out, as I will. All right. We talked about today's matches, talked about Ronaldo to Juve, and then for this segment, talked about the World Cup, talked about England, Croatia, and some other things going on. So thanks for listening to the GSMC Soccer Podcast. As always, I am your host, Jesse Tapia. I will be back on Monday, so stay tuned till then, and we will talk about the semis then. So talk to you later.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Soccer Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.